Are you ready to get your fix?
Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready to get your fix?
With the Wicks here on this beautiful Wednesday, April 20th, 2022, and welcome to the show, whether that be on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, do me a favor, hit the like and the share. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe. It'd be much, much appreciated. So if you're with us today and celebrating accordingly, hopefully you guys are doing it responsibly as well, I thank you immensely. Welcome our guest here when he's available, guest host Y4, John, on this glorious day.
How's everybody doing?
Oh, we're doing pretty solid.
It's a little rainy.
Yeah, it is a little, not the greatest outside. It is raining a little bit. Thought it was going to be nice when I woke up and it was a little warmer than usual. I was like, okay, we're going to have a good day.
I was thinking the same thing, because I went out last night, took a step outside, and I was like, it's kind of a nice night out.
It's going to be nice.
And I was hoping for the best this morning, and it wasn't what I was hoping for.
No, definitely not what we were hoping for at all. Now, today we're going to dive into a couple different things. Like, hey, the Cleveland Browns fans should probably really be pumped about the fact that they signed Deshaun Watson, because there's a certain stat that I'm going to dive into, or we're going to dive into here in just a minute, that says, hey, this guy, he's a dog, all right? So we'll talk about that briefly, and then holy shit, Deebo Samuel has requested a trade from the San Francisco 49ers. That is right. We'll get John's thoughts. We'll give you my thoughts and opinions on
my thoughts are.
Yeah, do ya? Oh, look, these are all ready to rock and roll just like I am. We'll also get his thoughts on the US of L. Hey, the current wide receiver market, like the free agents of Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, Julio Jones, and well, that's basically it of wide receivers on the market right now, are high marquee players. So with that being said, are you ready to get your fix? So today I was scrolling on the old Twitter. Not the old Twitter, it was Twitter. And a certain stat popped up where basically it stated that over the past 7 drafts, the Houston Texans have only made one pick in the top 15. That one pick, I'm pretty sure, was Jadeveon Clowney a couple years ago. But to have only one pick in the top 15 in the last 7 drafts tells you right off the bat that even though they've looked, not like a shitty team, or not a great team the past couple of years, they've actually been pretty decent. But it also got me thinking, well, why was that the case? Why only one in the top 15? Well, it was a certain man who was their quarterback for a couple of those years who, not only won some ball games, but led the Houston Texans to multiple playoff appearances. That man just happens to be Deshaun Watson.
Was it multiple?
I think he was 2. I think 2 times he made it to the playoffs. At least 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Won.
I think he won 1 game in those, but he led them to the playoffs, which ultimately means you're one of the top. At that time would have been 12 teams.
Yeah.
Or something like that. You were one of the top 12 teams in the National Football League, which is pretty tough to do. I mean, obviously the top team in every division makes it right off the bat, but it's still, if you get to the playoffs, you're one of those teams, one of the good teams that everyone looks at like, okay, these guys could potentially win a Super Bowl here. Probably not going to happen, but it's very likely that it happens. And Deshaun Watson was able to take a Houston Texans team that was chained by money. They had no money to spend. They had DeAndre Hopkins, J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney, all these high-caliber players in their organization. And, well, Deshaun Watson was able to take them to the promised land. For them, the promised land is obviously the playoffs. I think Cleveland Brown fans should probably be pretty pumped about this.
Yeah, I mean, if he can play the whole season,
Yeah.
that'd be nice. And also, the civil cases are still over his head. Like, there's still a little question mark.
Like a little
in the air.
distraction almost.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, I would be very excited about this. He's definitely top 10 for sure, possibly top 5 quarterbacks.
No, yeah, 100%.
He's only had 1 year off. In the year that he played last, he had, I think it was like 25 touchdowns, 6 picks, and like 3 or 4.
One of those high
rushing.
caliber quarterbacks.
Yeah. And his team, like the record, you wouldn't ever guess that. But
They
he
would've
just
made
played that well.
Yeah, when it came down to being clutch, he was clutch when it mattered,
Oh,
and getting them into that playoff. So when you talk strictly football, like you take away all these civil cases and stuff like that, even though that's a very real thing, but if you take away those and you just talk about football, this man is an instant game changer. If he comes back this season, plays like he did when he was in Houston, with I think an overall better team around him, defensively, offensively, you're looking at Amari
One
Cooper.
of the best offensive lines.
Yeah, 100%.
That's something that Baker will never have again. is
Yeah.
The offensive line of the Cleveland Browns.
And I've talked about it multiple times. It's like hard to get a very good offensive line because when it's just hard to get the right people in the right situation at the right time, and then the chemistry that needs to be built there, and just their motor. They have to be a next level athlete at that position. It's tough, and yeah, you're right. Baker's probably never going to see that ever again. It's very, very tough. Because I think even Tom has really never had a stellar offensive line. Rodgers, he's probably had a decent offensive line here and there, but not a great one, but a good one, like one that's consistent enough. And like, if you get that offensive line, it's massive help, especially when you bring in Deshaun Watson, who's not only a pocket passer, but he's a mobile quarterback. He has the ability to get outside the pocket and make miraculous
Make up for
things.
when the offensive line does miss a play or something. When it does break down, he can make up for some of those plays, whereas Baker tries to make too much happen and then it's a pick. He
Right.
can take some of those picks away by outrunning a defender.
Exactly, and I just gotta make sure the fumbles don't happen, which I think he's been pretty solid about doing his entire career. I mean, the dude, he's a dude in the NFL basically. Like he's top notch, and Cleveland should be pumped about this because 2 years ago they made the playoffs. They beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. The first time they've been in the playoffs in long time. And Baker did that, obviously, but the team that was built around Baker, Myles Garrett, OBJ, Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, that offensive line that we talked about. I mean, he had everything in place to succeed, but just couldn't get over that, that next level, that next hump that was in his way. And I think Deshaun Watson's going to be able to come in there, and it's definitely going to look like better football compared to what Baker was. Yeah.
I mean, awesome.
Landing Amari Cooper, that was a big shocker. That was definitely a big one because out of all the places I would have never guessed he would have went to Cleveland.
I mean, but I like it.
Yeah, I do too. I think Cleveland's on the rise, slowly but surely. They've figured some things out. They've had whole regime changes, new GM, new coach over the years, and they're trying to figure stuff out. Right? In the NFL, the only thing that matters is if you win. Okay, you win. Have a winning season, you go into the playoffs, cool. But if you don't make the Super Bowl, if you don't win the Super Bowl, okay, well, we made the playoffs, but nothing happened. It was just another couple extra games for us. Cool, let's figure this out. But I think now is the time to kind of start looking positively at the Deshaun Watson situation. Even though those civil cases are still super real, apparently they're probably not going to be looking at those until next year because I think the court system's super backed up, so the only thing that could happen or come of this right now would be that Roger Goodell just suspends him for a certain amount of games. But can you suspend him for a certain amount of games when you really don't know the extent of it 100%? You don't know the whole truth, because if you suspend him, say 6 to 8 games, half the season or whatever it is, and all of a sudden these civil cases get dropped, well, what does that tell Deshaun?
You suspended me for no reason.
Exactly. It's one of those things that's what do we do here? We got to, I think he's ultimately going to just play this whole season, next season, I think it'll come, more of the civil cases stuff will come out, and then we'll
I
get
think
our,
the fact that he sat out all of last season is a lot too.
yeah, like that was basically a suspension, but even
Yeah.
though, I mean, he could have played last season, it's just he didn't want to, I think was the big factor there. But I mean, dealing with all that he had to deal with is just, that's a distraction of itself. You're probably not going to get probably not going to get the same production out of him as if you would if none of these things were to happen at all.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, hey, 7 drafts. Texans only have 1 pick in the top 15. I believe they have. I know they have 1. I think it's like the 3rd overall pick. They might have 2 in the top 15, but I'm not 100% sure. I know for sure it's only 1. So we'll see what they do. I mean, maybe it's an offensive lineman. Maybe it's a wide receiver to pair with Brandon Cooks. But at number 3 overall, you're going to be looking at the top players that are available for that pick. So moving forward, we talked about the wide receivers. You know, we talked about Amari Cooper leaving Dallas, going to Cleveland. He's now a Brown. There's another receiver that could be on the move. That, folks, is Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel has been in the news quite a bit as of recent. First, he deleted photos on his Instagram account, unfollowing the 49ers organization or their team, and said basically, hey, if it ain't $25 million, we don't want it. Well, it has come out yesterday that his brother was on his Instagram, I believe, as Instagram story, said, yeah, my brother's going to be requesting a trade, this and that. People were posting it and running with it, and then his brother came out with another thing. Hey, I don't know shit, all right? I don't know what he's going to do. My brother only knows what he's going to do, so you guys will just take a story and run with it, do with it what you will, but I have no idea what is going to happen. Well, I'm sure he did, because today...
Debo texted him and was like, hey, why'd you post that?
Yeah, hey, yeah, we're waiting for this. So we probably rushed him into this a little bit too, because this has actually been happening, or this news came apparent to the 49ers organization about a week ago. Deebo Samuel already informed the 49ers that, hey, I want to trade out of this organization. I just don't want to play here anymore. I know you guys say you want to pay me and you say you're going to pay me and stuff like that, but I think I deserve more than what you're offering. And I think there's other teams around the league that are going to pay me that. Because we've seen this whole offseason that there are NFL teams that are willing to pay high caliber receivers what they are worth.
Oh, yeah.
And Deebo, I think, seen that and was like, hey, you don't want to pay me what I'm worth? Some other team will.
Because I'm a wide receiver and a running back.
Exactly.
I'm probably better than some of your running backs on your team.
No, 100%.
Like, Rams.
Well, if Cam Akers...
He'd be better than running backs, I think.
Yeah, unless Cam Akers finds a way to just go, because when we got to see him come back off that Achilles injury, like, he was still... He was good, and I think he's going to be a good running back there for Rams. But yeah, the Rams would be interesting. Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, then Deebo, or who else is over there? There's another guy. Oh, Van Jefferson's over there. So that would be a bad fit. I think there's a lot of fits around the league too for him.
I want him in Green Bay.
That's the first team I thought.
We'll give you a first round pick for old Deebo.
What do the Packers have?
They got 2 first round picks.
What's the first one? Mid,
Other
like
one, I
teens?
think, is 24.
I think it's 22 and 28.
Okay.
I think we talked about that the other day.
So we'll give you our 22 for Deebo.
Probably have to give him another draft pick.
And we'll give you a second rounder. And we'll give you Amari Rodgers.
And they have to have the money, right? Because they were willing, or they matched the offer that the Raiders had on the table for Devontae Adams before he left.
Throw in Jordan Love. Amari Rodgers and Jordan Love. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, Amari. I don't know. I feel like you want to stick with Amari almost.
Now we got Deebo.
I suppose. But I mean, you don't want Deebo, kick return, punt return. You'd want some other younger
we
dude.
have. Did we just get?
I think Amari Rodgers was your punt return and kick return.
Hazard.
Randall Cobb too, still there.
I thought we got some. Oh, Sammy Watkins.
Oh yeah, yep, Sammy Watkins. Got Sammy Watkins, Allen Lazard, Deebo Samuel. Look pretty good because Deebo's young too. Like
Tunyon.
yeah, he is. Oh, Tunyon. Green Bay, I mean, I think they could almost upgrade a little bit at that tight end position, but not really because I think you want to keep rolling with Tunyon because...
Tunyon and DeGuara could be good.
Yeah.
DeGuara could be good.
Well, doesn't Rodgers like him, basically?
So.
I think he has a lot of praise for him, or has said a lot of praise about him. So, I mean, this whole situation's really interesting, to say the least, because, I mean...
They won't get him.
No, Green Bay won't. Well, you never know. I mean, that offer's still on the table. I guess teams are already calling and seeking a trade for Deebo Samuel, which instantly when I seen this...
Does A.J. Brown want out?
See, here's another thought I had, too, is what if A.J. Brown did that, tried to get signed, and then Deebo comes over to Tennessee with him? I don't know if they'd have the money.
No, I was thinking Deebo for
A.J.? Oh. Yeah, but would that just be weird? I don't know if I'd like that too much.
what?
It just, for some
A.J.
reason...
Brown, I don't think will be nearly as much money, but he could be really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan.
But I think the same stipulation kind of is there with like, hey, if you trade for him, you got to give him a contract extension because that's what he wants. He's in his final year of his rookie contract. And does San Fran want to do that?
Probably not.
Because, I mean, he hasn't played in their system. They haven't game planned around him like they've game planned around Deebo Samuel. I mean, there's Terry McLaurin could be on the move too. I mean, he needs to get
Send
paid.
him to Green Bay.
That'd be nice. Because, I mean, do you want him to play for Washington anymore after all this shit that's coming out? Like,
Or Carson.
yeah, that sucks for him. Like, golly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that sucks for him, but hey, it's how the world works. Just a little bit. But apparently, this whole situation with him requesting a trade, money is not at the basically at the front of the issues. But there are also issues with how the 49ers use him and how they've been using him. Which is interesting because you'd think, with how much he did and how much he made a difference on that team. I mean, he was a complete game changer, helped lead him to the NFC Championship game. I mean, this dude is a freak. Like, what is it about his usage that he didn't like? Is it just fugazi? Like, what is this?
Maybe he doesn't want to play around back. He's like, I'm a wide receiver.
Yeah.
They got me doing all this shit because we suck.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they did have running back issues, too, the whole year. I mean, they had to do what, Trey Sermon.
Elijah Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Elijah Mitchell could be good.
Yeah. Might take some time, but I think he could be solid. But, I mean, it is weird because, I mean, he started...
Watch the Broncos get Deebo.
Oh, man. That would be interesting. Spice it up a little bit. Who would they send, you think? Cortland Sutton or Tim Patrick? I don't think they'd get rid of Jerry. I just don't think...
So.
You'd have to send one of them, and then maybe a draft pick. Because I think I've seen, in order to get him, you need to send, like, something with, like, financials would have to be correct, and, like, some draft picks, or some draft, I can't remember how they worded it, but, I mean, with his usage, he was used quite a bit. I mean, we all know that. It's very apparent, and this is at My Sports Update, Ari Mirov. He said Deebo Samuel's usage in 2021 per PFF, he had 116 snaps in the backfield. He only had 23 in his first 2 years. He had 239 snaps in the slot, which is where he really excels. He's a good slant route runner. That's basically, you put him in the slot, you're either going to run the ball with him, or you're just going to do a quick dish to him and let him kind of make the magic, create the magic, whatever it is. He also had 591 snaps at wide. He also had 16 kick returns, only one in his first 2 years. So he was literally doing it all for the 49ers. And I think what happened was he's coming into these contract negotiations not only saying, hey, I'm a wide receiver, pay me wide receiver money, but I think it's very apparent that he's like, hey, I'm a wide receiver, I'm a running back, and I'm a goddamn kick return specialist. Pay me for all of those positions. I want my money, like, I want to be worth what I do on the field.
And you got to boost confidence coming off an injury and being able to do all that. He's like, oh, so if I get hurt, I can come back. I'm Deebo fucking Samuel.
Yeah. And you got to...
Deebo.
Right, and Deebo. And you got to think too, like, if he's going to get a contract extension, and it's not going to be with the Niners, I don't think, but we got to keep that possibility still on the table because the 49ers don't have to trade him. Okay, it's just a request. They don't have to trade him at all, and if they don't, he still has to show up for training camp because if he doesn't, it's just strictly fines and all this, and it's a whole mess. But you got to also think, like, if he does get this contract extension, fully guaranteed money would be a massive part of it. Because if he's still doing the running back positions, if he's still playing all over the field, doing it all for your offense, he's going to need that fully guaranteed. Because if he does get hurt...
Which is, with the way teams would use him, it's more than likely than your typical wide receiver, your typical running back even.
Right.
Like, he's a little bullet out there, but he also has a target on his back.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like, we got to stop that guy.
When they're game planning it. Okay, watch number 19 here. Watch what he does in motion.
I bet that's what it was like scouting the 49ers. All right, we got to figure out how to stop Deebo fucking Samuel. That's it.
Deebo, we'll figure out Deebo first. When we figure that out, we'll move to George Kittle. Well, that's a lot easier than trying to figure out what the hell Deebo's doing because he's all over the fucking field.
Well, George Kittle got taken out of the game plan because he was blocking for Deebo.
Exactly, yeah. No, and I think, what was it, during the Super Bowl, NFC Championship week, the Rams, they did something with Deebo. Like, they always had a spy on Deebo, and they were always, instead of, like, you know how the quarterback's like, hey, 42's Mike, or 45's Mike. On the defense, it was like, hey, 19's over here, 19's in the slot, 19's out wide. Wow. And just calling them out so that everybody was on the same page. Okay, Deebo's over here. We got to be ready to rock and roll. Like, 'cause he could come over here at any point. He could go deep on that side, and we got to have help over there. So, I mean, he's an instant game changer. I mean, the dude...
That's crazy, I bet. Did they do the top 100 players this year yet?
I don't believe yet. I think that comes...
I bet he's in the top 10. It's voted on by the players. I bet he scares fucking teams.
I guarantee you he does.
Just scares defenses. They're like, how the fuck?
Quick, can change directions on a dime. I mean, he's
Are they
just...
going to throw it to him? Are they going to hand it off to him?
Like,
the
yeah.
teams are just like, fuck, where the hell is Deebo?
Especially when he goes in motion, too. Like, oh, shit, he's in motion. He's going to get the ball. And then it's like a fake handoff, and now he's out.
And even
running.
more so, like, it'll even stick out more to those defenses because he was the only good player besides Kittle on the freaking...
On the Niners, yeah.
Yeah. Good skill player, I'll say.
Yeah.
But,
very good skill player. Yeah, so, I mean, it'll be interesting to see where he goes. Other than Green Bay, there's obviously multiple teams around the NFL that would love him. Okay, I think it was like Field Yates said, I came up with a little graphic to show you what teams should probably go after Deebo Samuel. Every single fucking team was on there. That was my initial thought. It's like, okay, every team's going to start calling to see what we could potentially work up here. Can we get Deebo? Is it possible? How do we do that? And but what are your thoughts on where you would like to see him go if it wasn't Green Bay? What would be a good fit for Deebo Samuel?
Good fit for Deebo Samuel.
I mean, you noted Denver would be a good fit, I think. It'd be interesting.
Steelers, maybe.
They just landed Miles Boykin, by the way.
Oh, nice.
I picked him off the waivers.
I could see him maybe in Atlanta.
Wouldn't be bad.
Tampa Bay.
Oh,
That'd
yeah.
be great, no.
There'd be no way out.
I think Steelers maybe have a shot at it.
Steelers might. I think there was 4 teams that were
Bengals?
said to... no, because you got T. Higgins, what's his name? Tyler Boyd and Jamar Chase. I mean, you could
Trade.
you have to trade T. Higgins and maybe a draft pick
Or
for
Tyler
him.
Boyd.
Yeah.
And a draft.
Yeah.
2 draft picks.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. Because what would Jamar Chase think about it? Because that would take away, possessions from him. And with the Bengals, how would the Bengals
If they want to keep
utilize...
winning Super Bowls, I don't think they should be worried about that.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. But there were 4 teams that were linked to a potential... Yeah, I seen that. Because on the Pat McAfee show, Mitt, or whatever, Money Mitt, he had his own mock draft. He does the mock draft every once in a while. And he had the Niners trading with the Philadelphia Eagles, who have the 15th pick in this draft. So the 49ers land Jamison Williams, who is an Alabama wide receiver prospect. And then the Eagles would land Deebo Samuel because they've had wide receiver issues like Jalen Reagor. Didn't work out quite as we probably all assumed it. Well, I guess I really didn't know too much about him, but assumed it would be better than what it was. Devontae Smith is over there. Who knows if what he still has in the tank? I mean, we only got to see year one. Who knows? He was pretty solid. He was their number one target, obviously, and then other than Dallas Goedert, who's just an absolute freak of nature. I mean, go big, go blue, go Jacks, but Eagles would be.
Jalen would be like, you guys keep sleeping on me, motherfuckers.
Just keep on sleeping, sleepy.
Next year, I was like, I told you, we get these guys in the right soil and we fertilize them. We're fertilizing right now. We're going to grow up.
Yeah, we're gonna plant our crops and start watering the soil and watch our corn pop up in rows. And yeah, but there are 4 teams, I guess, that are actually considered, or this is at Ian Rappaport, he says, among the teams consider as the trade market for Deebo Samuel. So these are the 4 teams that would consider or be most considered to possibly trade for him. One is the Packers. Obviously, they need wide receiver help. The Lions. Obviously, they've been down in the dumps for quite some time. They have a curse over there in that organization, with Calvin Johnson's situation, Barry Sanders' situation, and Dick Night Train Lane's situation. I heard they did him wrong way back in the day. The Chiefs are also in.
How?
They got rid of Tyreek.
Yeah.
I know, we don't.
Always good to do, guys.
Yeah, I know, but you can say that about New England about the last 20 years that we watched them, go nuts. And last but not least, which actually seems like the most logical, I guess not logical, but the most, how do you want to say it, most likely to happen, the New York Jets. And I say that because head coach over there is Robert Saleh, or big old Bob Saleh, who was the former defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, was actually with that organization when they decided to draft Deebo Samuel. I believe there's another person over there in that organization that was with the 49ers that has a higher up job that also has been with Deebo Samuel with the 49ers back in the day. And from what I've been hearing, from what I've been seeing, I guess, because it's all speculation at this point because you don't know what's going to happen, the Jets are a very real possibility. And I don't know if I like it. I mean, the Jets...
Seems like that's where guys go to die. Le'Veon Bell, fucking... Who else went over there to die?
Brett Favre
died for a year, and then as soon as he got out of there, he balled out.
Skull, baby. Yeah, then he screwed us over in the 09 fucking...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how good Zach Wilson's gonna be.
Yeah, that's
I
a
like
big question
him.
mark.
Like, I kind of like watching him play.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. He didn't show us much that
Well, I also
year.
think it's because, they've been bad for so long
Yeah.
that teams...
So if they landed Deebo, I think they could.
Elijah Moore, or whatever his name is.
That's a running back.
No, Elijah Mitchell's Elijah Moore's a wide receiver. Young wide receiver, stood out over there. Well, you see, that's probably the kicker there. I don't think they have
They
one.
had someone that was decent. Can't remember his name though.
I don't think they did, pal. Who is it? It wasn't Carter. Michael Carter Jr. I think that sounds really familiar.
Might have been.
So, they got to figure out the running back position. But the Jets, it wouldn't be bad, but like you said, people go there to kind of die because the Jets aren't good. They're never on primetime television. They got to deal with the Dolphins, who just stacked up with Taron Armstead, Tyreek Hill. Got a new head coach in the building. They also have to put up with the New England Patriots and the mastermind of Bill Belichick. Okay, good luck with doing so. And then you got the fucking Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Emmanuel Sanders, or what's his name? Yeah, I think it was Emmanuel Sanders in their defense.
Hearing those teams, if I'm Deebo, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, probably not.
Not the Jets. What was the other one?
Packers, Chiefs, and Lions. And those are the 4. And
like looking at the Chiefs and Packers, and if I'm him, I'm probably leaning towards the Chiefs.
Yeah, just because of their recent success. But Green Bay's been right fucking there. And he said he could probably be like, hey, I'm that one piece. But then you can also look at the Devontae Adams
And they've
situation.
beaten Green Bay in the playoffs. Every fucking year.
Yeah. help him, give him that playbook a little
He's
bit.
like, you know what? I know that if we go to the playoffs, we're gonna face the 49ers if they go,
And we're gonna
and
win.
we're gonna win this time.
That'd be interesting.
Come to Green Bay, baby.
That'd be awesome.
Come to Green Bay, Deebo. I'll tell you what. You come to Green Bay, I'll buy a house in Green Bay. We'll get some cheese curds.
What was a lot
Even
of
though the
odds
cheese
about
curds in Minnesota, because I didn't know what I was gonna offer.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get some cheese curds. But I will say, the cheese curds in Minnesota, I mean, when we went to Green Bay, we were looking for cheese curds.
Where the fuck are the cheese curds in Green Bay, Wisconsin?
Yeah. We went to a place and I got some cheese curds. They came out and I was like, I've had better than that in Mankato.
Yeah.
So, great place for cheese curds is that Boulder Tap House.
7 West Tap. Yeah, shout out that fucking big old square cheese curds. I mean, they're huge.
Better than anything we had in Wisconsin.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, the atmosphere in Wisconsin, awesome.
Cool.
Amazing.
Serial killers and everything.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's another subject. But Indianapolis, I think they're looking for a wide receiver as well. Don't know how if they're going to be in the market at all. I'd assume. I mean, it's fucking Deebo Samuel. Every team should be in the market looking at this guy. You noted the Broncos, Pittsburgh. I mean, even though they picked up Miles Boykin, they still got Deontay Johnson, James Washington, and Chase Claypool over there. Hey, I mean, Deebo instantly makes that team a little bit better, but who's the quarterback?
Yeah.
Who's throwing him the ball? Is it Mitchell Trubisky? Or is it a young
It's
rookie?
Malik Willis.
That's very possible.
Did you see, there's a clip that I saw of that play where Malik Willis celebrated afterwards, and Mike Tomlin was in the background.
Oh, just smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my guy.
I hope. I'd love it.
That'd be a really good fit. I think he probably fits that mold really, really well
Mm-hmm.
over there in Pittsburgh. Some other teams, I mean, who knows what the DK Metcalf situation kind of looks like, because he could be on the move draft night, but I doubt 49ers Seattle would, swap. I just don't think that'd be the case. But I think for Deebo, ultimately, it has to be about the money. Okay, I mean, he wants to get paid, and he knows what he's worth. He has the same agent as A.J. Brown, okay, who wants to get paid as well. I believe they have the same agent as well
Floyd
as...
Mayweather?
No,
Oh.
A.J. Brown, not Antonio Brown.
Oh, AJ Brown.
Yeah, A.J. Brown from Tennessee Titans. But I think you have to worry. He's definitely looking for the money. So what team is most capable of paying me what I want? And then next you have to be like, okay, who's throwing me the ball? Who's the quarterback? Who do I want? Hucking me the rock? Is it going to be, Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, Malik Willis, or Mitch?
If the Packers said that they matched the Raiders deal with Devontae Adams, that means that they
got the
got a way to get him over here. So what could make the shit happen?
And they've historically never been a team to do something like that and make that splash move. And the question about Green Bay, too, the last couple of years, we need a weapon. Another weapon to pair with Devontae Adams. Well, Devontae Adams is fucking out of the building, so now you really need a weapon.
I'm trying to think. When Deebo Samuel came into the draft, could the Packers have gotten him?
Ooh, probably. Probably, if I had to
I
guess.
feel like I remember playing on Madden with him on the Packers.
Probably did. Probably drafted him. Hey,
So yeah,
bring
trade
him over to the
them.
Packers.
Both first round picks.
Fuck it.
Trade them.
Get Deebo Samuel is what John's telling you to do. That would suck for Minnesota, but we'll figure it out. I mean, we had to deal with Devontae Adams for however fucking many years. I mean, it's going to be tough anyways to the top of the mountain, like we always talk about, that Lombardi, hoisting that Lombardi. And Deebo goes to title town. Maybe they'll bring a title to the town. You never
Hopefully.
know. It's a very real
Might
possibility.
die soon. I gotta see that shit.
You're telling me, okay? You got to see one in your lifetime. I haven't. So.
Pretty young. 2010.
Yeah. Well, those were the days. See, that was 12
Been
years ago. That was
what the
12
fuck?
years. Well,
It's been so long.
sucks. Bummer, dude. I mean, what are you going to do?
Fix
Just
the
keep
special
on
teams.
watching. Yeah, fix the special teams. Rich Pisaccio over there. I mean, sheesh, she's going to get that place in the right direction. I promise you. So, kind of talk about the wide receiver market a little bit. We'll dive a little further into that. Jarvis Landry is visiting or had visited the Saints today. I believe he also visited the Atlanta Falcons previously in this past week or last week or whatever it was. So what do you kind of see? You know, we got Odell Beckham Jr. Still got Jarvis Landry on the free agency market or in the free agency market. Julio Jones, I talked about Jarvis Landry. Where do you see these guys maybe potentially going? And do you like Jarvis Landry as a fit with the New Orleans Saints? Browns are still a real possibility. He could still go back to the Browns, pair with Amari Cooper.
For some reason, I see Odell sticking with the Rams.
I do too.
I just think that's going to be...
It's like a perfect fit.
Yeah. Jarvis, I think his fit would be the New Orleans Saints. I like that
Pair with Michael
idea.
Thomas.
Yep. Yeah, I think that would be good. Who's the other one?
He met with Atlanta.
Yeah.
See, Atlanta's like...
Saints are an interesting team.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
going to have Elvin.
No. Well, yeah, no. Yeah, what? I wish we could figure out what the hell's going on with that situation.
I think it's bad.
Yeah, I think, because we haven't heard anything. So I think the NFL is kind of hush-hush.
Saints ain't
Right.
talking about it. I think it's probably bad.
Kept in-house.
Because the Henry Ruggs situation, we heard about it, and then it was like, don't talk about shit.
Yeah, just drop it.
And I feel like don't talk about Ray Rice. It was the same situation. Like, it happened, like, he's done.
Yeah, instantly, like they know.
Don't talk about it. We're done. So, he must have fucked that guy up.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, him and a couple
He
other
broke
dudes.
his cheekbone, I think.
Yeah, he broke. Yeah, maybe a rib
He's
too.
probably getting time.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, unless he was a really good lawyer, but I mean, he has the money for it. So, but still, it's a sticky situation he got himself into.
Yeah, I mean, a lawyer, if it's on video that he fucking fought this guy and the guy was down and he was hitting him while he was down, that's a crime.
Yeah,
Like,
insult, definitely. Yeah, it's sorry about it, Saints, but Mark Ingram's gonna have to be the dude.
if you ever get in a fight, once they're down, don't keep hitting them. That's where you get the charges.
Yeah, exactly, because they're helpless.
Yeah, if they're out,
They're defenseless. The only thing they can do is curl up in a little ball.
don't ever use your feet.
Yeah, because your feet can do a lot of damage.
That's attempted murder if you try head stopping somebody.
Yep. So be smart. Make smart
Yeah,
decisions.
be smart when you're fighting.
Yeah. You know, get out there, spar a little bit, give them a good old 1-2, and how you doing? Keep moving. All right. Move on. Keep on. Keeping on. Basically. But yeah, Odell. You said he's gonna stay with the Rams. Jarvis, you like the Saints. I could see him coming back to the Browns, but at the same time, I think that relationship was already kind of, fizzling away from actually having a deal get done, and that's why he's ultimately a free agent now. And I think they released him, if I'm not mistaken.
The Rams?
No, Browns. I'm talking about Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's a real possibility. Pair him with Amari Cooper. You get another top-tier receiver in there because there was videos of, Jarvis Landry.
Carolina. What if he goes to Carolina, pairs back up with Baker?
DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson. I think Jarvis he'd have to be a number 2 guy at least.
Yeah, I think he's better than Robbie.
Yeah, me too. 100%. Carolina wouldn't be bad. Carolina's going to have to take a quarterback too. Who knows? They're probably not going to get Baker.
Why not?
I guess it goes back and forth. Like, first it was like, okay, we don't want you. And Baker's like, okay, fine, I don't want you either. And then it was like, oh, Carolina seems like the most logical landing spot. Maybe this will work out. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, the rookie quarterbacks in this draft class, they seem more, they look a little bit more sweeter.
It's so strange how we look at the rookie conversations about the quarterbacks 3 months ago. 3 fucking months ago. You're saying that what you've seen in the combine and how athletic they are is more than what you saw on the field to make you be like, oh, this quarterback that we just said sucks 3 months ago, like, we don't know, this might be the worst draft class we've ever seen, is all of a sudden better than Baker Mayfield, who won a playoff game in the NFL, who was a Heisman winner, Like, how the fuck do they go from 3 months ago they ain't shit to now after all the combines and shit like that, he's better and bigger.
I think it's because probably
That is
like
fucked.
they don't have their eye on him basically the whole season because they're focusing on their season. But when they get their eye on him, they're like, ooh, like okay, like, let me give me some of that.
And it's agents and stuff trying to move their draft stock up. I mean, people are reaching. I mean, even for Malik Willis and stuff, I still think that there's a lot of flaws that will come out once he gets to the NFL. Trey Lance is another example that 49ers are like, I don't know.
Well, he was a lower level Division I football player. So. Liberty's a lower one,
So, just hearing that people are like, a rookie quarterback might be a better option than Baker Mayfield at
Cheaper.
this point is.
I think Baker, it's like $19 million they'd have to pay him.
That's not
For some
very
teams.
expensive.
I think that might be against their cap though.
Oh.
I think that's what it's stated as. So it's like, do I
Who
want
the fuck is taking up all their cap? Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah, they signed him to a massive deal just a couple years ago. Yeah, because then Dalvin Cook got locked up right after him.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a smart move by them. And hey, that's actually interesting. You said Deebo to the Panthers would be a good move, or Jarvis, whatever the two, but Panthers said, hey, we're open to trade Christian McCaffrey. Send Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers, grab Deebo Samuel, maybe send them some draft capital, late third, late fourth round pick, and Christian McCaffrey land Deebo Samuel. That
If I'm a
offense.
team, I'm not taking fucking Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I know, but God, when he's healthy,
He wins you 2 games a season.
you almost have to have two running backs that are capable of being the starter. You have to, with Christian McCaffrey. It's like a Cleveland Brown, like Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, both of them are starters, but they alternate. And with Christian McCaffrey, you got to kind of like, okay, well, we need that. We need 2 guys that can go out there and do the exact same thing for our offense.
Thing with the Panthers, their whole offense was Christian McCaffrey, and he never fucking played.
Yeah.
That's why it sucked.
And I think that's probably why people
if we
are.
had Christian McCaffrey, we'd be sitting pretty in this game.
Probably make the playoffs too.
Week 14. No, if Christian McCaffrey was back, we'd probably be in this game.
Probably. And I think that's probably why a lot of people are writing off Sam Darnold already. Because they had a whole year to watch Sam Darnold without Christian McCaffrey. And they were like, oh, God, we got to go with this dude. Like, oh, jeez. And Ben McAdoo
I've
came out.
never been high on Sam Darnold.
Me neither. I mean, like, yeah, he went to, South Carolina or USC or whatever it is. What is it?
Josh Rosen was pretty good, too, in college.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of quarterbacks are really good in college, and then they come to the NFL.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like everyone wants to hold on to whatever they
thought was special.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's still there. It's like, no, at some point.
It was there.
Yeah.
Not anymore. It's
Like,
semantic.
I'd rather have Baker than Sam Darnold.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, 100%. That is... Yeah, who knows what they're going to do. A lot of people haven't taken Kenny Pickett with a 6th overall pick, but...
Blows my mind.
Yeah.
Blows my mind. Just 3 months ago, they were saying they weren't that good, to now they're better than a 4-season NFL quarterback.
No,
Makes
100%.
no fucking sense.
What about Julio? Where do you see him going? I still like the Colts, just because Matt Ryan and him have that chemistry. I think that would be still a good fit, but I mean...
That would be a good fit. He's probably a little bit cheaper this year.
Well, I hope so. I mean, 470-some yards and, 3 touchdowns, I think it was, or, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, it's going to be a nursing home and...
Well, I mean, hey, the Vets could
Indianapolis.
get it done, though.
Yeah.
Vets could definitely get it done.
Definitely could.
So there's multiple teams, there are multiple wide receivers on the market still. We talked about Jarvis Landry, OBJ, and Julio Jones. Also add to that list, because he requested a trade, Deebo Samuel. What does A.J. Brown do? Well, he either gets paid or he's also on the move. The next year, this season, the NFL season is going to be fun to watch, fun to witness. It's completely different. This is probably the best offseason I've ever witnessed for quite some time. I mean, just the amount of moves that have been made, the new faces and new places, the difference, the teams that look completely different than what they did a year ago or 2 years ago. I mean, new refs are coming in.
That's the new NFL. It's more like the NBA now. There's so much movement.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's because it's a win now mentality. What do we need right now to win now?
We could get invaded by aliens tomorrow. Just
Oh,
Just
yeah.
complete chaos. We need to win a Super Bowl.
You goddamn right.
Now.
we do. Yeah, come on. Let's
We
score
gotta
and
be at
go
the end of
Pack
the
go.
timeline soon, so we need to win the Super Bowl right freaking now, because I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, you could also have another 10, 20 years of just disappointment, too, so that would suck.
Yeah, either way, we gotta win a Super
gotta-
Bowl this
We
year.
gotta win right fucking
This year,
right now.
every year, that's all I look at. This year, we gotta do it.
Yeah, we gotta do it this year.
We don't know what's gonna happen in the NFL.
Right? And also happening this year, the USFL. Now, John, you said you've gotten a chance to kind of watch the USFL a little bit. I gave my opinion on this show multiple times and what I thought about it. What is your initial thought process or what was your initial thought process when you got to see it? Like the first 5-10 minutes of the game and kind of going forward, the uniforms, how it's played, the drones, the first downs, all that.
First game, I thought was very enjoyable because the fans helped a lot.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
But then, as soon as the second week, or the
second
second
month
game
games.
started, and there was no fans, it started clicking. I was like, it is just in one city.
Yeah.
So the most people that were there wanted to go see a game.
And then that's it.
They are not going to do that every single week.
No.
So the stadium, there's no way they're going to keep getting people to travel from state to state to come see a USFL game, in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, right. I mean, great weather, but I mean, nobody's gonna want to travel there every single
No.
week. It's just not gonna happen, especially when nobody knows their
So-
favorite team.
I think the league is pretty much already dead. I mean, who knows? Maybe since they only got this one stadium, maybe they just can fund it with merchandise and stuff like that. But who's gonna buy the merchandise? I mean,
It's gonna be tough.
and when I first watched the XFL, I loved it.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot better, and I think that the branding was so much better. Like, it was cool to have
Their marketing was perfect
Yeah.
for it.
it was kind of cool to have like a favorite XFL team almost,
Right.
versus the USFL.
You don't know any of these players. Like the passing game is just
Jordan
awful
Tatum is the best player.
by far. By far.
But yeah, XFL, I like the uniforms better. There's some uniforms I really don't like in the XFL, I think.
Yeah, like the Vipers
Mm.
or the Dragons.
Some of the
okay, but-
uniforms in the USFL I really do like. Gamblers is one that I like.
Breakers.
Breakers, I think they're clean uniforms.
Just need to fix their helmet. In my
Yeah.
opinion, I thought it was too bland.
Who else? The Stallions, I like their uniforms.
Yeah.
They look a lot like the old San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
But yeah, as far as the league goes, I think the XFL has a lot more potential than the USFL.
Right.
And just having different stadiums.
It helps
or-
a lot.
Yeah, in a city, it's so much easier to go to a game.
Right.
If they're representing your city.
In your city, yeah.
It's like they're bringing money there and it's something for the family to do. And you're sitting there like, yeah, we're Houston,
Gambler fan.
or
What team? Oh, Houston Roughnecks?
yeah, there we go. We're a Houston Roughneck fan, and they got the Roughneck jersey, and it's
PJ Walker.
yeah.
Merch, yep.
I mean, that was just so much cooler than going to Birmingham.
What about the drones? Did you notice too much about it?
They said that they were professional flyers.
They're not. There's no fucking way.
No, because I've seen videos of guys on YouTube, and there's like drone races. They're going, and it's so much smoother. These guys, it looked rough. Like, I was
Real
kinda
rough.
getting sick watching it. Looked really shaky. It was cool to kind of see him behind the runner as they're running, so that you can kind of see the lanes. Like, it's a cool perspective, but it's almost too much. Like
It's a good one-time thing.
if you played football, then it's like, so you don't really need to see that.
Right.
But, I mean, it is cool for the viewer to kind of get in there and see
the
what that's
vision.
like. But at the same time, it's like, keep the drones away from their helmets.
Yeah, dude, there was so many times, like every single game, I was like, that drone's gonna fucking hit
If
this
you-
dude.
If I'm running and I see that out of my freaking peripheral vision, and I just take a slight step, being like, oh shit, that's the drone. Just take a slight step this way, that could be the difference in me getting touchdown and me getting caught at the one.
No, 100%. Yeah, that's definitely. And then for like the kickers too, when it zooms
Yeah.
by their feet, because those things. I mean, it was literally just. You know, I was like,
At
be
the music
annoying as
video, that Kev Lowe shot.
mm-hmm.
At the music video, I heard that thing and you could barely hear the music, so I know that they're
They're
loud as
loud as
hell.
shit. Like they got something about. I mean, they have 3 people controlling it, which I mean that doesn't make any fucking sense. But I think there's probably a camera guy watching where it's going. But I mean, there was times where like even a ball almost hit it. I think the drone is. It just needs to be taken out of it. I mean, it was cool for the first time, but like game 1, all right. Here's the drone. That's it. I do like the cameras right on their helmet right here, just kind of like so you can see what they're kind of envisioning or what they're seeing on the field, like these holes open up, why they made a move the way they did. I think that's really cool to kind of to see. I do also like they have the high caliber, broadcasters and.
Yeah, that is not. That's one thing that I really liked about it was the announcers. It really did make it feel more professional, but as far as the play,
Not high
and
quality.
not having fans, and the stadium will never be as full as it was the first week ever.
I hope it is, just because I take in count that it was Easter on Sunday, and so that plays a big role in the fact that fans probably weren't there, and then that game that got canceled Sunday night moved to Monday. I mean, they probably could have bought tickets for that, but I mean, it's Monday, it's after a work day. These guys are starting at, I think it was 6 they started the game. People are just getting off work. I mean, there's no way you're going to have fans there, but I mean, they got to figure it out at some point, because otherwise it's going to be just like the American Alliance of Football, the AAF, and fold halfway through the season. I'm sure that's not what they want to do, just because for a lot of these guys, some of these guys.
The fan control football team, it looks like all their helmets are the same color now.
I know. I told you that.
That's
I
good.
did tell you that. Right? That's the first thing I noticed when I turned on for those fucking 10 seconds. I was like, hey, their helmets are the same.
That little bit just made it look a little bit more appealing to me.
A little bit more professional.
Yeah,
New
watch.
teams, too.
Oh,
New
really?
jerseys. Yep. Like Steve Aoki. He has a team. I can't remember what they're, like Team Aoki or something like that. And there's a couple other ones, too, that just kind of made the league. It's 8 teams now, not just 4.
Nice.
So it's...
I did watch that 48-year-old man go up and get it.
Yeah,
That's
Mr.
awesome.
T.O. Mr.
What
T.O.
a G.
You can definitely tell he's 48 years old. The rust is definitely there. But hopefully he can kick
See,
that
that's
rust
the
off.
league that's like,
Perfect for him.
yeah, like, you're really not ashamed to play in it because it's like a whole different
He's
sport.
a
of
fucking
its
Hall of
own.
Famer, so it's like...
It's like you're not ashamed to really play in it because it's like if you played flag football.
Right.
Like Brett Favre playing flag football right now. Like you don't really look at it as, oh, I'm still hanging on to something. I'm playing a completely different sport in the fan-controlled football league. Whereas the USFL, it might be a prideful thing. Like I don't want to be in that league.
Yeah, right. Like I would rather not play in there, because for some of those guys, it's like their second opportunity, their second chance to maybe make it in the NFL or make an NFL roster. Most of them won't even get that chance, but I mean, for some of them, it is. This is my last shot. If I don't make it here, like I'm gonna go work in a gas station. I'm gonna go, back to college. I'm gonna go do all
Yeah,
this
I mean,
stuff.
there's probably a lot of guys in there that if they don't make it in the NFL, they'll be just fine.
Yeah,
They're smart.
Yeah,
Most of them.
most of them. That's chicken salad. It's pizzas. Slice of pizza over a chicken salad sandwich, and he gets cut. That was kind of ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. He's just being honest.
Did you see that at all?
No, I didn't see the video, but I heard about it, and I was just like, yeah, he's just being honest.
I was clicking. I was waiting for that Saturday game to start or whatever, and I clicked on the USFL. I can't remember what it was titled, but it was basically like Hard Knocks for the USFL. And literally the first thing I was watching was fucking the Pittsburgh Maulers. The coach was like, oh, we have a code of conduct where you gotta respect coaches, no back talk, stuff like that. And then that cuts to that fucking running back coming in the room. He's like, hey, so, we have this rule, respect your elders, respect your coaches and stuff like that. And it's been brought to my attention that, you have broken that rule. And so we're gonna have to release you. It's already been done. So what? I didn't do it. Like, what do you mean? Like I didn't do nothing. Blah blah. Oh, listen, it's already been done. So nothing we can do about it. And then he told the story about they asked me if I wanted a chicken salad sandwich, and I said no. I'd rather have a piece of pizza. Do you got pizza? And they said, no, we do not. And he said, well, I'm not going to eat the chicken salad sandwich then. It probably went down a whole lot different than what he probably said, but just to cut them for that, I think it's kind of dumb. And they are the worst team in the league by far because
Yeah, he probably
they had
doesn't
no-
like chicken salad. It's probably like, you got some pizza or something? Because I ain't eating that.
Yeah, that looks
They're like,
nasty.
oh, as we got a chicken salad, you can eat it. He's like, nope, I ain't eating that.
All right, sounds good. See you later.
I ain't eating that bullshit.
Yeah, I ain't eating that garbage. But yeah, USFL. I mean, it'll be interesting to see where it kind of goes from here. Week 1 was obviously it hit on the first day. It was absolutely, I was thoroughly impressed the first day. The second day, Sunday and Monday, I was kind of like, okay.
Pat brought up a good point. What if they did make it like a reality TV show? When he said that, I was like, you wouldn't need fans in the stadium or nothing. Like, you could just have a story.
It's like a little Pee-wee league, almost, kind of like how they do their thing.
Like, but you just have a story of them watching it and just be like super, super petty like that. Like, hey, you didn't tell your teammate that his shoe was untied. You're done.
Yeah, like get out of here. You're cut. That is a good point. I mean, they could because these leagues it takes so much for them to be successful, and it's hard to stay successful.
Yeah. Gotta be different somehow. There was a different vibe to the XFL for some reason. I loved it.
I did too. I mean, the fans of that beer snake that they had of all the cups and stuff in a couple of the
They were
stadiums. I mean, yeah, I'm excited for that to come back for sure.
The Rock will market it really well.
Oh yeah. I mean, I cannot wait to see what happens there. Who knows? Maybe we'll have some familiar faces. Maybe Jordan Ta'amu says, "Hey, fuck this. I'm going to the XFL because I actually have a chance there." PJ Walker might go back.
PJ Walker's like, I'd rather be a star than a backup.
No, 100%. As long as they can pay me, I'll be a star. All right? That's what we need to do. Hopefully he brings the same type of energy that he did. I'm assuming he would just because he's been in the locker room behind Andrew Luck before and he's still in NFL locker rooms, I believe. So, I mean, he might be a free agent at this point. But, hey, hopefully USFL gets off to a little bit hotter start this coming weekend. They have games Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll be tuning in, trying to figure out who my favorite team is going to be. Kind of stuck between, the New Jersey Generals and potentially the Birmingham Stallions, but I don't know yet. We're going to figure it out here very, very shortly. Can't really just based off the uniform like I did the XFL with the Guardians, the New York Guardians. That was my fault, but...
I made that mistake. But I changed it after seeing PJ Walker. As soon as I saw him, I was like, nope, I like that guy.
Yep, 100%. So we'll see what happens with that league in the coming weeks. 10 weeks of football. Then they got the playoffs, which the playoffs is the top 2 teams from each division. And they have one game, and whoever wins that one game goes to the championship game. And the championship game is actually being played at the Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. So,
wow.
Yeah, they have a little different changes. I think that the playoff game, too, is also in a different location. I don't think it's in Birmingham. So
maybe the one stadium thing is just for this year.
See, that's why I think to make that revenue a little bit, kind of see if it catches on.
I still don't think that they're going to have more people than the first time.
I know. It's going to be tough. I mean, that was electric. I was like, damn, good crowd. Even Logan said good crowd. So, hey, it'll be interesting. I mean, these spring leagues, it's going to take a while, but eventually, hopefully, it'll catch on. We just all got to remember, it's not the standard football that we're used to seeing, like the National Football League, where it's high quality. These are guys that didn't make it, okay? There's a reason they didn't make it. There's a reason they're in these leagues because, yeah, they're good enough to be in college, but they're not good enough to be in the NFL. So here's that happy medium, and hopefully it catches on. There's plenty going on in the world of the National Football League. We'll dive into that more tomorrow, okay? It is, Thursday tomorrow? Yeah, it is Thursday the 21st. So with that being said, is all we have for you guys today. Enjoy the rest of the holiday. Celebrate accordingly. Be, how do you want to say this? Celebrate safely. Be safe out there. Make smart choices. Like always, enjoy the rest of your day. Stay home. Yeah, stay home. Chill. Relax. Eat some snacks. Watch a movie. Watch some comedy.
Gummy worms.
Yeah, gummy worms. Ooh, that sounds pretty solid. Maybe some Reese's. They do have a, what was that? They have a point system now.
Oh my God.
Rewards. You can get rewards for Reese's. So, I mean.
700 pounds.
Yeah, probably. I mean, hey, why not, right? Why not? It'd be like Tyson Fury out there who fights this Saturday and pumped for that. I'm going to watch that for sure. He's in Wembley.
Who's he facing?
Some fucking, I don't know, Devin White, I think is his name.
That's a linebacker on the Bucks, ain't it?
Yeah, it is, but it's not. But anyways, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time. Like always, stay safe out there. And you just got your fix with the Wicks. And deuces, folks.